My name is Mark Loevner. I was a captain in the United States Air Force. My adventure started after high school when the country was ablaze with the Korean War and the nation had a military draft. Fortunately, I was accepted into Penn State College. The first 2 years of Penn State College, all physically able males had to take 2 years of ROTC. From the thousands and thousands of students they had in the Army, Navy, and Air Force ROTC, they selected 50 from each branch. Fortunately, I was selected as one of 50 in the Air Force to go to advanced ROTC, which kept me deferred from the draft until I graduated. I graduated college as a second lieutenant in the Air Force, and shortly after that, I had orders cut sending me down to Hunter Air Force Base in Savannah, Georgia. On the base, I was assigned to the 804th Air Base Group. Also on the base was a second bomb wing commanded by Paul Tibbets, the pilot who dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. And then they all gave was the name of his plane, possibly ended the Second World War. Shortly after arriving in Savannah, since the base was inadequate for officers' quarters, I rented a little cottage with another officer about a quarter mile from the main gate. About this time, I went downtown to the shelter and rescued a magnificently beautiful young female Irish setter dog. I named her Trixie. In the days when I went to the military, you didn't have to leash your dog. So when I went to work as a supply officer every morning, I let Trixie loose, and eventually she worked her way into the air base, and she worked her way from mess hall to mess hall. Basically, she became the base's mascot. But when I returned home at night, Trixie was there waiting for me. I got orders assigned me to the second bomb wing, and we immediately went overseas to Africa, to Morocco, to a little town called Sidi Slimane, onto a French air base. Our mission there was to keep the Suez Canal open because in those early days of the Cold War, Russia had influence in Egypt. And our mission was to make sure that the Suez Canal stayed open, and we had B-47s flying 24 hours a day, protecting the canal. About a year into that job, I got orders sending me back to Hunter Air Force Base in Savannah, where I spent a couple of weeks being serviced out of the service. I was reunited with my Irish setter, Trixie, who another officer had taken care of her while I was gone. Trixie went home with me to Pittsburgh, and she spent 20 years with my parents who loved her so much until she passed on. Being a supply officer, a purchasing contracting officer, and being a flyaway kit officer, maintaining all the parts for the aircraft, and today working as a money manager was all correlated into the same field. My efforts I learned in the military helped me in my career as a civilian. Also, my service in the military helped me to mature into a person that I am today. I was honored to be in the military. I'm proud to be an American, and God bless America. When we were in the military, most of the dancing was done by the jitterbug, and the song that I remember was Rock Around the Clock.